We are officially live this week with the Punch List, a Nerds on Earth special edition every Wednesday.
Is it special if we do it every Wednesday, or is it just our regular edition?
That's a good question. I'd like to argue that it's special because it's only once a week.
I'm down. I agree.
All right, I'm here with
you.
I'm here with Clave. I'm Abram. Nerdsonearth.com. It's a website. You can check it out. We put out the punch list every Wednesday to catch you up on all the nerdy news of the past week that you may have missed. And we just break it down one at a time, offering snarky opinions that may or may not be based in a little bit of fact.
Abram, I'm trying to be less snarky, okay? Don't give me free reign to be as snarky as I want to be.
I want you to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
All right. We'll see.
All right, so let's start with number 7. I don't know. I think it was kind of a light week for news, but we'll start with number 7. So PlayStation has revealed their free games for August for PS Plus subscribers. So the 2 free games that you're getting are going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, just a campaign as of this posting, and Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. And they're coming live on August 4th, which, wow, is that already next week? Yeah. Next week, Tuesday. Clave.
Yeah, Call of Duty, right? That's
Call
awesome.
of Duty, there you go. The old school, the one that, even though it's Modern Warfare 2, it's really the one that, that's the one I've played the most of and really got me into the franchise. And
then it's just the campaign, no multiplayer.
No multiplayer.
Which I'm like, that's a feature, not a bug. Like, that's good. Like,
yeah, I don't need
multiplayer. I'm down.
I don't need to raise my blood pressure anymore by playing online Call of Duty.
Exactly.
I'm getting too old for that.
That's...
Yeah, 2 free games, great. Yeah. Fall Guys, I don't know much about it. It's a party game with 60 players all going against each other. Last one standing. Looks kind of cartoony, looks fun. So, hey, free games are free games, even though you technically paid for them. But who am I to judge?
Exactly.
So
it's never free.
It's never free. Everything.
That was snarky.
Yeah, we just.
I didn't even make it 3-1.
How long did we last? 2 minutes? 2 minutes before we just turned the deck on PlayStation, declaring war on Sony. All right, so PS Plus, there you go. You have it. Number 6, shifting gears to Dungeons and Dragons. The Curse of Strahd is having actually a revamped. Nice.
Get out of here.
Revamped edition that has been announced. So it's going to be a softcover printing of the adventure book. There was a lot of errata that went into it. That's all included. You get your maps, you get your Taroka deck, which is kind of like the tarot deck of Curse of Strahd, and you get a special Gothic horror version of the Dungeon Master's screen and more. I don't know what more includes, but a lot more. It's coming in a coffin-shaped box for $100 in October.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's happening. $100.
It's $100.
You get
something.
You get something you might already have.
Yeah. So you may pass. You could always print out the errata, but I don't know, for people who have been waiting to get into Curse of Strahd. There's I don't even know how many 5th edition adventure books are out now. There's probably like 6 or 7. There's got to be.
No, that's an interesting question, because I'm, as you know, I'm working on the review of the latest D&D book for Nerds on Earth, and I've been sitting on it for weeks. Like, I've had it, I think it's on sale by this point. I'm that late on it, and I can't figure out. I'm just really wrestling with it. In a sense, because we're in what, year 7 of this cycle, year 6 or year 7. So D&D 5e is a mature, older product, and we're seeing the anyway. Not to get too businessy, that's how it works, right? You do all your research and development up front, and that's where all your costs are. And then when you get later in the product, you're just trying to pull the profit, right?
Oh yeah.
And so a recent book was the Tyranny of Dragons, right?
Tyranny of Dragons. That was pretty. I think that was recent.
Anyway, it was
and
their very first adventure book, and they re-released it 5-6 years later as a collected hardcover, right? And so that's my point about late in the product cycle for a game is here's this re-release of this adventure, and so now we're seeing these products that are kind of setting books that tie into other Wizard of the Coast properties. Again, late stage of the game, it's more of a profit generator. And so here we have another adventure that's being reprinted as deluxe edition, right?
Right.
And then I think they are making some changes. I think I haven't followed it too closely, but I think there were some complaints about some of the text that felt inappropriate or unkind, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Insensitive. All the above.
Yeah. So they are redoing some of the text. But out of a 256-page book, they're redoing a couple pages of text at tops, and the rest is, let's add a deluxe treatment. So again, I'm trying not to be snarky here, but you can probably see that. I mean, what we're getting are these late, and folks, we're going to spend our money on something, and we like deluxe things. So I don't besmirch the company trying to make money, but it's it's late in the product cycle they've already invested their research and development in that adventure. They can put a couple person hours on it to update it and make some profit. So that's what we're looking at. So I think we'll see more of these. I don't know that we'll see every book re-released as a hardcover treatment, but I think in the next couple of years, since Dungeons and Dragons is a mature product, we're going to see more of this.
Totally. Yeah, and Curse of Strahd was one of the more, it's one of the more polarizing ones, but it is one of the more popular ones that people talk about all the time. So, so we'll probably get more like that.
Yeah.
All right. That's Strahd. Let's move on to number 5. More video games. And it's not the last one on the list. G4 has teased a return. So it was a video.
Wait, I've heard of G4.
You've heard of G4? Man, that's
I've heard of that before.
It's a thing of the past. I can't honestly believe that it was still airing in 2014. I thought it went off the air way before that.
It does for sure seem like a decade ago.
But it's teased. There's a teaser trailer that might be coming back 2021 next year. And for those of you who aren't inundated or didn't get to experience it, it was just a video game TV network. Talk about video games all the time. That's all they did.
Yeah.
And people really loved it. So I know it was kind of a punch to the gut when it went off the air, even though I can't obviously remember when it actually happened. I just knew all of a sudden it wasn't there anymore. So that's exciting. I'm not sure what that means for the video game industry or anything, but people with the advent of Twitch and the boom of streamer personalities and stuff, they're going to have gobs of content that they could talk about. Just endless streams.
I think you nailed it when you said the word Twitch. Don't you think that would be this will be a digital online only leverage, take advantage of these newer methods using the G4 name? Have some corporate money behind it so that the quality is high and that you can get and then they'll I hope that Olivia Munn is busy, so I don't think they'll get her, but leverage some new talent. And it's that G4, it's a valuable name. It's like when I heard it, it's been a long time since it's been on air, and to be honest, I didn't even watch it at the end because I'd already gotten to that age where I'm like, I'm not into this. My kids will watch this.
They will watch. We're gonna break out the DVD archives of G4 when they're old enough.
Exactly.
We'll watch content on.
I'm at the age I don't watch a lot of Twitch, right? If it's on Twitch, I'm like, oh no, who has time for that? But there's no denying it's insanely popular in the amount of hours. So
totally.
So I would guess that's the. So it's interesting. it's a lot of fun. I think it's a good thing. So
yeah.
I wonder who the corporate owners is. That's what I would be interesting to see.
That's going to be interesting. You would think it would be who's pulling the purse strings behind G4 now. Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, it's good news. It's exciting. Get a different generation hooked on G4. They're already hooked on Twitch, so what's one more thing?
That's right. Give them another channel.
All right, number 4. The best part about number 4, Glaive, is I did not have to update.
It up too high.
I didn't have to update the sidebar at all because number 4 was the exact same thing, the exact same product kind of thing last week. So G.I. Joe, except this time again video games. Big week for video games. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout is a third-person shooter, team-based shooter that pits the Joes against none other than their favorite adversaries, the Cobra.
The Dreadnoks.
See, you say these things, I'm like, yeah, I know that's a G.I. Joe thing.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, I think it's great. So in the Wayback Machine last week, we talked about G.I. Joe itty bitty figures from the 80s are coming back, but they're not retro. Instead, we have what's the cool Joes or the 6-inch Joes, the G.I. Joe Classified. And so evidently this game is based upon the G.I. Joe Classified line of figures, which I think is awesome. So the popular 6-inch figures are Marvel Legends, Star Wars, Black Series, but Fortnite, right? And so there's already in video game culture, you have this 6-inch figure is Overwatch figures. They have the 6-inch figures, so that's a good thing. So I think they're just trying to do the tie-in and have a video or a game to go with it. I like that type of video game, so I think it'd be fun. I didn't see if it's coming to Switch. If it is, then
I didn't see what platforms it's coming on. I don't know. It's whenever you got shooters, it's hard to say if it's coming to
next gen. I'm sure it's not PS5.
Probably not.
Yeah. So anyway, that's fun.
Yeah. So
I know there was a mobile G.I. Joe game that came out not too long ago, and it's fine.
Did it come with O-rings?
It did not. They don't understand. Retro and O-rings are synonyms.
That's how you upgrade your Joes. You collect O-rings.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So it's I'm excited for this. I'll give it a shot.
Awesome. Our G.I.
And the movie's coming out too, right? But
yeah.
Remember when movies used to be a thing? So evidently, they're rebooting the G.I. Joe franchise with the Snake Eyes movie. So I'm sure that's where all the tie-ins are coming from. Hasbro.
They're just like
video games,
cash it in all at once. Let's just hit them with G.I. Joes until they can't stand anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I can stand a lot. Trust me.
This is our resident Joe expert, Glaive. Awesome. Number 3. The Eisner Award winners were announced for this year. They're actually announced a couple days ago on the 24th. So those are the annual comic awards, right?
Yep. Kind of the Oscars for the comic book world.
And no Marvel, no DC, and no Boom were a part of that list, which is, that's refreshing. So a lot of people are
understandable, right?
Yeah, and we talked, I think a couple weeks ago, we talked about how the industry is moving towards gearing things towards, young adults and children, and, you got Squirrel Girl and things like that. And so, that's really the contingent of winners was from that category.
Raina Telmager. Telmager?
You would know more than me.
Yeah, my daughter loves her. She does Guts, Drama, Sisters, and she does the graphic novels. It's about 150 pages for young girls, and she literally sells 1 million of them, and she's super talented, and those are the Eisners, and so if you keep with the analogy that they are the Oscars of the comic book world, it's understandable there's no Marvel or DC, right?
Right.
How many DC movies have won Best Picture Oscar? I'm pretty sure
fewer than Marvel.
Zack Snyder has not won that. But it's like when Black Panther was nominated for for Academy Awards. Suddenly, that's when I paid attention to the Oscars, and I think that's this is where I'm gonna. Sorry.
Here we go. Where's that soap? Who took his soapbox?
It's Oscar time when when the Oscar nominees are listed, and then suddenly you read on Facebook your friends are talking about like, oh, the whatever picture, and they have opinions on the best Oscar winner, and you're like, bro, like, I went to college with you. You don't have a film degree. You're a dumb. Like, quit trying to act like you know anything about the Oscars or the, And so Eisner's can kind of be like that, where you have people be like, talking about the best comics, and I'm like, bro, like, I know you read dumb booger comics the way I do. So quit trying to act uppity, like
right,
anything about these Eisner Award winners. But so they're great, and they celebrate. I mean, as I read through, I mean, I make booger jokes like I'm a dummy. Like hadn't heard of a lot of them, but some I had heard, and like good creators. David Walker, I love him. He wrote some Power Man that I loved. So sort of things like that where you can kind of see, but it's for me, the Eisners have never been like, oh, here's my list of the comics I must go out and now read and
I must now watch them, and I will grade them out of 10.
Yeah, like I'm too dumb for that. Like whatever. Like I'm just gonna go watch Captain America: Winter Soldier again.
It's funny that you say that because it reminds me of, I can't remember who said it. It's probably a comedian, but maybe it's just a person. And they were like, yeah, it's funny when you go to the theater and all the previews are going, and after every single preview, all of a sudden everyone's a film critic. Yeah, I'll see that. Yeah. Oh, that doesn't look that doesn't look that great. So,
I'm like, yeah, we haven't been to film school.
What are you talking about? Abrams School of Film. It's a online degree.
Right.
So Eisner Awards, go ahead, check out that list. You can go read what you want. That they got the awards for a reason. So there you have it.
Absolutely.
Number 2, Hulu has released a trailer for Marvel's Hellstrom. So it's the brother-sister duo of Daemon and Satana, also known as Anna.
Yeah.
And they battle evil in a horror-themed series.
Her name is Satana.
It's Anna in the show, Clave. In the show, it's Anna.
Satana.
Don't be such a purist.
I'm a purist.
He's a purist. I'm a Hellstrom purist. Putting my foot down on this series. So you just get the teaser trailer. It's coming in October.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot of things coming in October now. As I'm saying this out loud.
I mean, obviously, like I love Marvel. Like I love it so much. But I had forgotten this show was coming. And so,
it was
Hulu,
it was announced a long time ago.
They have the Runaways, and it wasn't. Cloak and Dagger wasn't Hulu. I think that was Freeform or whatever that is, but I think it's been on Hulu. But Hulu is now, Disney has a part ownership. So what I'm getting at is I wonder how tied this show will be in with the rest of what Disney Plus has. I can't imagine it's going to be deeply tied, but this might be a show where there's a mention here or there.
Or maybe
in terms of
crossover
comics,
character or something.
Yeah, exactly. So these are deep cut characters, and so I don't think this show is made because the characters have big recognition. It's made because it's a genre switch, right? It can be a little bit of that dark gothic, and even the trailer. It's like you had no idea what it was about. It just kind of had the ominous, frightening, scary movie, and like 1 second cuts and it goes and everything's kind of dark and fiery, and you're like, I have no idea what this is about. And
I like fire.
And I don't think that's the point. Exactly. I mean, it's a genre show, so that they can show off the supernatural horror characters. I'm curious on how connected it is. My guess.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think there might be a crossover here or there, but I don't think it'll be deeply connected.
Yeah, I don't think it can be too deep just because they're on the separate platforms. But you bring up a really good point that it probably will have something or another. So I don't know. I'll take a peek. You catch my interest with some Dancing Flames. That's all it takes these days. Put fire in a trailer. He's there. So Hellstrom number 2, October 16th, I said? Yep, October 16th, the full series coming to Hulu, 10 episodes. And then number 1, we'll stick with a comic theme. New Mutants gets a brand new trailer as well, and some poster art for the movie. And this is a movie that has just been awaited for so long now that it's hard to believe that it may be on the horizon at some point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, to put it bluntly, this movie's a laughingstock at this point, right? It's like, you know, Hellstrom, I kind of forgotten that it was even happening. Here's the trailer. And New Mutants, you can't forget it's happening because it has been delayed so many times that it has frankly become somewhat of a joke. It's like, is it news that there's another New Mutants trailer? It's kind of sad that there's a, you know, it's like either release the movie or do a video on demand or whatever, but it's had, I don't know, half a dozen, like I don't even pay attention anymore. And this is from someone who in the 80s read every New Mutants comic a gazillion times and loved it, the Demon Bear saga that it is based upon. Like, I love, one of my favorite comic book stories. I loved it. I love the characters, but this movie, the production issues have been so.
And that's what really kills the marketing vibe too, because it's like you get on this whole schedule of things that you're going to say, and then you're like, hey, the movie's coming. Everyone's like, yay. And then you're like, well, it's coming someday. And you're like, oh, okay, well. And then, you know, little tidbits of news, and people are like, it's like you're getting jerked around on a roller coaster.
Totally. I feel badly for the actors. It's a good crop of young actors, and they have to go on these press junkets and pretend like they're excited, you know, and pretend like they know what's going on. And at this point, like, they filmed the movie, they probably can't even remember working on that movie at this point.
I mean, yeah.
And, you know, it was made by
something
Fox.
That long?
Right. So it was made by Fox. In the meantime, since it was made, Marvel bought Fox, and so people are like, well, that's weird because these characters are going to be rebooted, right? So that they can appear now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe proper. And so it's this has been a lame duck at this point. It's just sad. Like I'm sure they're just looking to recoup their money.
The only thing that I can stay at a high level of hype for years on end is like Skyrim, and that's it. Like, they can keep re-releasing Skyrim 6 times, and I'll play them all and I'll buy them all for absolutely no reason. But I can't stay hyped for New Mutants for this many years.
So you're not excited for Avatar 2?
Wait, there's an Avatar 2?
I mean, that movie is going to come out just any day now, and it's going to blow your mind.
that movie is unobtainium. That's what that is. It's a classic. I still can't believe that made the movie. Someone got paid to put unobtainium in the movie. Oh man.
Oh, so good. So good.
It's classic. All right, that's number 7. So one more time from the top, just quick hits. PlayStation Plus, you can get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout coming on Tuesday for PlayStation Plus.
For games.
Dungeons & Dragons Curse of Strahd is getting a revamped edition that's been announced. G4, number 5, G4 has teased a return coming to your platform sometime next year. Number 4, video games G.I. Joe Operation Blackout is coming out also in October.
Yeah.
Number 3,
this nerd will try it.
He will try it. Number 3, the Eisner Award winners were announced, so go check out that list. Number 2, Hulu has released a trailer for the new Helstrom, coming also in October. And number 1, the final one, New Mutants, has some news. We got something about a trailer, some footage or something, and a poster. So.
Yeah. So join us next week when we talk about the new date for the New Mutants release.
Yes, don't miss it. You'll hear it here third. So, Anyways, thanks for joining us, nerds, for the punch list. Clay, this has been fun
Good to
as
see
always.
you, Abram.
Yep, you too. Later, nerds.
Talk to you later, buddy.